everybody. I'm Debra Askanase, social media consultant and an engagement strategist working with.
So, we are here today to talk about social media and the Hebrew University. So why did Hebrew U decide to use social media? Well, first of all, we wanted to find people, whether it was students, faculty, donors, supporters, potential supporters. We wanted to have closer connections with the international community. We wanted to put a real face on Hebrew University, and we wanted the world to know that we are a world-renowned institution, and we have our breakthroughs and we have innovations.
So, Molly and the team at the Media Relations and the Development Department, brought me in and said, all right, we're ready. We want to do some social media. How do we start? Well, I don't know if any of you work at large institutions, maybe some of you do, but there are a lot of challenges working with a large institution that we can think of a few. Like, number one, there's often many levels of approval, like many levels of approval. Number two, in this institution in particular, we weren't allowed to touch the website. We couldn't do anything that involved integrating with the website, which, as you can imagine, is also kind of a challenge. There was a lot of negativity towards the idea of using social media, mostly based around this fear of the unknown. What if people start trashing the university? What if people start sending us hate mail? There was a real concern that had to be overcome. And then also there was we didn't have any names to start with, so there was just a concern about like how do we get started. So great, but with a large institution comes really incredible assets. Like number one, between the development department and the media relations department, we had a cross-cultural team, a cross-departmental team, a cross-cultural team, a bilingual team, and that expanded the opportunities of the university to be able to access lots of assets like the spokesperson's office, the office of the president of the Hebrew University, the multimedia. Those were great assets. We also had some social media cheerleaders, Molly being our number one. Ma'ayan is here as well, she was another, and there were two other on the team. And they really said, okay, look, there may be some negativity, but we don't know. That's a fear of the unknown, and we just got to do it. And then they had access to friends organizations, over a dozen of them worldwide. So great. Let's start. How do we start? We can't access the website, and we need many levels of approval, so let's just start in the simplest, which is Twitter. And at the time, last summer, Twitter was like the next big thing, and the challenge was, well, do we tweet in Hebrew, do we tweet in English? This is something that probably a lot of you guys have to think about as well, and ultimately we decided that there was two different audiences. There's the worldwide audience, because Hebrew University is a world-class, world institution. Yes. And then there's the Israeli audience. And the Israeli audience is probably going to prefer to get Hebrew tweets. So we all opened up two Twitter accounts, at HebrewU_Heb, which is our Hebrew tweeting account, tweeted by Ma'ayan. Are you here? Raise your hand in the corner. Yay! Over there in the purple. And our at HebrewU, tweeting in English, which is Molly. So the second thing was, Twitter's awesome for doing the personal engagement, which was another goal of Hebrew University. How do we put a personal face on this large institution that's a logo? And we started these monthly Twitter chats to try and highlight the innovations going on at the university and put a personal face. And it was like, total failure. and that's okay. That's what you learn from social media. You try things and they fail. They failed for a number of reasons. Primarily because, well, our audience just wasn't that interested in engaging in Twitter chats. We had time zones to deal with, we had language issues to deal with, we didn't keep the same hashtag, which we probably should have.
Tell them about the one success.
There was one wonderful success, chat with Maya Segal, who is a survivor of the cafeteria bombing from Hebrew University. That was very just engaging. We had lots of participation. People were very moved by her story and had a lot of questions for her. But we shut it down after 4 or 5 months because it just wasn't meeting our goals. It wasn't bringing more people in. It wasn't engaging a worldwide audience. La la la. And we moved on to Facebook.
And I'll just say quickly about Twitter that it's growing every day, and it's obviously still predominantly more popular in English, but we have over 2,000 fans altogether. And what's important for us is we succeeded in becoming personable, okay? We're looking for students that are talking about us on campus, alumni, parents that are sending their kids to school at our international school, Rothberg. So in that sense, we are successful, and we're now just trying to re-strategize and figure out the best path to go in the future.
So we have this issue again with Facebook, the bilingual issue. And I don't know if anybody has 2 Facebook pages, or 1 Facebook page, but we really struggled with that. We couldn't find a lot of examples in Israel. And ultimately we went with 1 Facebook page because it keeps us on message. Worldwide institution, our audience primarily has their language set to English no matter where they are. And we decided to do with 80% English, 20% Hebrew. So above the fold, you're always going to see both languages, but whatever you read, you're not going to be put off by seeing too much of one of the languages.
So to date, since we started in January, we have over 7,500 fans. And again, we're promoting our innovation, our research, and something that's important that we started to add little by little is humor, which I think is very, very important that we come down from our ivory tower.
Definitely check out like the humorous congratulations videos, Rosh Hashanah videos.
And so something that we wanted to do was we took the Twitter chats and we moved them to Facebook, and we called them Expert on the Spot. And this is a video series. It's a monthly video series, and basically we will invite a professor, a researcher, a student to talk about their current research. We then have them invite an audience to ask questions about what they're doing, and the following week they're able to then answer. This professor, researcher, student answers those questions. And actually right now, if whoever wants to go online, we have Parkinson's disease with talking about deep brain stimulation. And if you don't know what I just said, then you need to go and ask a question. And it's basically, while not a cure, it's probably the closest thing to a cure right now for Parkinson's, and it's happening at Hebrew University, and it's truly amazing, and you can watch it in English or in Hebrew.
But let's tell them about Albert Einstein.
Right, so Albert Einstein is a founder of the Hebrew University, and something that we wanted to do was to take this great idea of Expert on the Spot and make it into an event. In March, we had National Science Day, and the Hebrew University was doing the train lecture series, where we had our professors on the train speaking about whatever it is they do. And we thought, great, it's also Pi Day, 314, and it's also Einstein's birthday. Of course, Einstein is born on Pi Day, that figures. So we decided, let's have a birthday party for Einstein online. And what was something very important, we approached other institutions, high schools, Jewish day schools in America, and the Einstein fan page, which has over 500,000 people on Facebook, and asked, can we post this here? And they were all very willing and welcoming, and because of that, we had over 300 comments and questions, and they came from all over the world. So we're talking about a student in Iraq wrote us, Turkey, when we were friends. Just kidding. We had China, we had Russia. So it was very successful, and people were even talking to our expert, which is former president, Professor Hanoch Gutfreund of the university. They were asking about love life questions, they were asking about time travel, they were asking about Einstein's hair. So what did we learn from this? Collaboration works. Do something personable, and everyone loves Einstein. So Marco, what you got?
So, in conclusion, thinking about the lessons learned in trying social media, if you are at an institution or a company or workplace that is putting negative towards social media, I think the number one thing that we learned was look at what your assets are and go there. Okay, so maybe you can't access the website, but how can you do it otherwise? Okay, maybe you need many levels of approval. What can we do that's quick, easy, that can respond in real time? I think a social media cheerleading team is so important. You've got to have somebody that's backing up this idea of like, yes, we can. And
No, it's ours, by the way, not a phone.
And then I think also keep on message. If you think about the Hebrew University, I think it's very tempting to say this is a page for the students. But the message was coming out of the development department and out of media relations, is who owns the page. And they were saying, great, we want to listen to the students, we respond to the students, we post events, but the message is it's a worldwide institution, we are broadcasting to the world. So don't get off message. And lastly, collaboration. Collaboration, once we realize how important that is, every expert on the spot, we invite other people to come, and we break down the walls. Okay, so it's not just siloed in a department, it's cross-department social media team. It's not siloed in the university. Break out of the university, invite others in to participate because it's your university. And I think that's really one of the messages of social media as well.
And just going off the theme of walls, for me this was the Berlin Wall of the university. And if we talked about a year ago, they were like, no. They didn't even like social, no. So we look now a year later, and actually they're not only willing, they're budgeting it, and they recognize the importance, and that's from top down. So that's a real great success story. And